Men of Reddit, what is the hardest thing to explain to a woman? You can pop a boner without being aroused. You can get a boner even when you are nervous. You can get a boner while shopping for guns with your buddy, and it isn't weird unless you're touching each other, according to the alphabet of manliness anyways. But when it's at my aunt's funeral it's disgusting, and I'm a creep and am into necrophilia. You get a pass if it's your step aunt. Why is it hard? And why is it not getting hard? Often the answer to either question is I have no idea, it just isn't. Apostrophe. Getting older I feel this too much. Girl on top of me, and the soldier is just like nah not today Bacaro. I'm 22 and this happens me. Might be stress or environmental. There was a really weird time in my 20s, and I just had to look at my girlfriend and shrug. How you can actually twitch your penis. All of my lady acquaintances are interested to learn that we have the ability to do so. And now 50% of people reading this are trying to twitch their penis. I just tried twitching my vagina. Kegels for the win. It's gotta be the same muscles, right? Why I don't know what the duck my best friend is up to in life, even after hanging out with him all day. Me on the phone with my best friend for an hour. My wife, how's he doing? Me, fine my wife, I thought he was sick last month and got laid off from his old job. But I heard he was doing better and found a new job. Me, yeah. So he's fine. Bro, when I'm on the phone with my friends we don't even greet, we're house. Come. Okay. End edit. Bruh, stop referencing The Office, good lord. Seriously. You don't need a lot of conversation. Me, coming over later. Friend, yeah I'll leave in 10 me. Cool. Doors unlocked, 10-second calls. Call? No. Text? Yes. That nothing is a perfectly legitimate answer to what are you thinking? And what are you doing? And what do you want to do on your day off? My girlfriend sits there and will loudly sigh, grumble, and groan until I ask her what's wrong or what's on her mind. She responds with nothing. Yeah, bullshit. You just made a bunch of noise to get me to ask. Now tell me. One time my ex-wife pulled this shit. So I replied with a clap and that's great, and I'm glad we had that talk. Then I started to walk away. She was pissed, and an argument followed, but it was so worth it. I usually respond with, well I'm here when you're ready to talk about it, and walk off. Yay. That's a good way for a healthy relationship. However, we were in the middle of the bitter end. I didn't care at that point. I was tired of always being wrong all the time. Among other things. Edit a word. What it's like peeing with a boner. Sorta like using a hose to water plants, except the hose is not flexible, so you have to push it down. Except it doesn't wanna go down. Erect penises don't bend very well, so it is real hard to aim properly, and peeing with a boner sitting down is hard too because, once again, it won't bend down properly, so it's pressing hard against the underside of the seat and sometimes pee goes through the crack between the rim and porcelain. 10/10ths do not recommend. Edit. Can't believe that my first award is on a comment talking about boner peeing. Edit. OMG, thanks for the gold. Stranger. I have to bend over the toilet and put my hand on the wall to point it downward, and it gets frustrating. Or you do the Superman. Stretch your hands up, body perfectly parallel to the floor, and lay on the toilet facing your floor. It's pretty much planking. It's also a nice core workout. Ah yes, a man of class I see. I'm not angry. I just don't have anything to say. I find more often than not, I do have something to say. I just don't know how to express it. But it's not just because I don't want to talk. I just don't know how to express it. 1. At all. 2. In a way that won't hurt you. Because I don't want to hurt you. I want to communicate with you. So we can change a thing that happens, so it stops happening and we can both be happy. 3. In a way that won't hurt you, because I don't want to hurt you. I want to communicate with you, so you know why I'm in a mood, and that the mood is based on like shit from like years ago, and this guy who wasn't thinking when he did a thing, and now I'm pissed at him, and pissed at myself for caring, and pissed at my dead father for shit from 20 years ago, and pissed at my friend Cause he does something similar. But not the same. But close enough to make my hackles rise. And because I know my fianc struggles with Ash to the most, I focus very much on never reacting negatively when he gives me feedback. Generally I respond with some form of thank you for telling me, it'll be better, but it's taken practice to take feedback with a smile. Both personally and professionally. It doesn't come naturally, but I know he doesn't want to hurt my feelings, and I don't want him to grow to resent me because of whatever it is. So it's been worth the work. It goes both ways though. In fact, I'm gonna go have one of these conversations right now. That I just want to stay in and chill this weekend after a stressful week at work. So much truth. Or if you have been traveling all week, explaining why I don't want to travel on the weekend too. For me, my feelings, I find it extremely difficult to convey things going on in my head. We're all on this table, bro. Why I'm hard. No, I'm not horny. I wasn't thinking of anything. I was reading about the fall of the Roman Empire. Okay, it just does that. What part of the Roman Empire do you find most sexually arousing? The part where Julius Caesar gets penetrated over and over again by all his friends. Fun fact. He only sustained 3 wounds while alive. I believe it was one in the shoulder, one in the abdomen, and one in the groin. The last was Brutus. The rest of the conspirators lined up and took turns stabbing his lifeless body. Perhaps not so fun a fact. He's dead already, but I really wanted a turn to stab that ducker. Ain't no death gonna stop me from that. Some Roman dude back then. Probably. It is entirely possible to listen to everything you say, understand it all, and still forget it 5 minutes later, especially when under pressure. Yep. The mystery of how a dick works and feels. No one knows, but it's provocative. It gets the people going. Ball so hard. Methodikas wanna find me. The pain and surprise of accidentally sitting on a testicle. You're going to be fine, and you know it. However, for a split second that came into question. I'm 20 and never in my life have I ever sat on my balls. IDK maybe they're small. 33 and same experience. I think we are not old enough yet. Depends how big your balls are, too. Anyways, yeah. Just wear some boxer briefs and voila. Problem solved. That explains it. I've always worn boxer briefs. I like the security they give, lol. We're not afraid of marriage. We're afraid of divorce. Similarly, I'm not afraid of getting into relationship. I'm not even afraid of asking someone out and getting rejected. I'm afraid of being in a relationship for a long time and getting invested and then getting dumped. 5 years single since my first and last relationship went poorly, and it doesn't look like I'll be ready for another relationship anytime soon in the next few years. I dated a woman for 2 years. I treated her kids like my own and watched them grow up for those 2 years. I built playhouses and bought Christmas gifts and read them to sleep. Then the woman and I broke up. I don't miss her, but I miss the kids. I don't ever want to go through that again. I'd rather be single. That's one of the reasons I don't date guys with kids. I still miss my last one's kids. Never again. Just because I don't have tears running down my face doesn't mean I'm not as sad as you. So true. Lost my job yesterday from COVID. I loved the job and most of the crew. My girlfriend was crying asking why she's more upset than me. I just don't like crying unless I'm truly as sad as I could be. At that time I was just accepting the reality and thinking of what to do next. I was still extremely sad. Something that has sadly been very relevant to me recently. When I tell you that I go for walks and drives to clear my head, that does not mean that I hate or despise you. I can't sit and watch TV mindlessly. I need to be engaged in something to kinda open up the channel for everything to flow through it again. However, I'm well aware of a sad reality where guys use this as means to go and cheat on their good ladies. Thankfully, once people get to know me, they know I'm a big car guy / love walks and hikes. I think most people don't understand when car people say that going for a drive helps clean the mind. I guess it's our way of meditating. I like cars and driving, but I wouldn't say I'm a car girl. But I do the same thing. and my now fiance would always kind of freak out or become skeptical when I'd leave the house just to drive around. But then he started having some issues with anxiety, and I was just like, let me drive you around. And we went down random country roads for hours. Then he got it. Just because I'm interested in you doesn't mean I only want your body. The men only one thing bugs me. I think I want the most is love and affection unconditionally. Allow me to project for a moment. Conditional love is better. Means both parties are expected to put in the work to get the output they desire. Unconditional love is how you end up with long-term abusive relationships, enabling and being one of the spouses from the show hoarders. For a guy who's seen neither, I couldn't tell you the difference. I felt this on an atomic level. Hints don't work. Just tell us what's up. I once said to a guy I really like you, and he said thanks. 10 minutes later he looks over and goes, wait, you meant like. I had a girl tell me I was on the list of guys she would date. When I told her I liked her she said duck off and now we don't talk. Same. Too many times I found out a girl is into me, but as soon as I express interest back I get ignored. Either A, that we too have feelings and need companionship, or B, why I have a boner at her grandma's funeral. Have you tried to explain? B, I could use some notes. I was at her grandma's funeral and there was a hottie in a casket and I couldn't help it. Enough Reddit for today. I just got vectored. The lack of intimacy we tend to have, and difficulty in expressing emotions / asking for help. Just because I'm good with kids doesn't make me a pedophile. We have to fix this negative perception in our society. I'm a woman and an elementary school teacher, and I often wish my profession was more balanced in terms of gender. Varied role models are so important for kids, but a lot of men are, for good reason, often worried or discouraged by the idea of working with young kids because of the fear of being perceived this way, even when they're really good at it and have a strong interest in teaching. It's awful. Male teacher here, it ducking sucks. I've seen a male teacher turned into CPS for potential improper relations with a female student because, and I swear I'm not making this up, 2 female students who were partners on a class project came to his room during lunch to work on their project. So he set them up to work and went and hung out with the teacher next door, with both doors open, so the kids could still be supervised. That's literally the exact kind of thing they tell you to do to avoid those kinds of allegations. Ugh, that's really unfortunate. In junior high I had a gross teacher who really did hold lunch club with girls he would invite, and he'd sit in there with them and often say very inappropriate things while they ate and worked on schoolwork. He was reported multiple times to the administration and nothing ever happened as far as I knew. This was a long time ago, but I'm sure similar stuff really does go on. Bad and gross situations like this happen with women as well, and it isn't fair for every male teacher to be viewed with suspicion. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.